how Japan escaped obesity while America got fat. People, what up? What's good? It's your boy TwoCentz, man. We got a real interesting video we're gonna be reacting to today. Why Americans are fat, why Japanese people are in shape. Before you even watch it, y'all, I mean, obviously, bro, we have, if I had to guess some things that, like, you know, are cultural differences that contribute to it, obviously, like, everybody in America's drive, like, you kind of have to drive to get from point A to point B. Like, you can't really walk, you know, to work or to the homies house or whatever. Like, we have to drive everywhere, so they're definitely probably walking a lot more than Americans are, so obviously that's gonna contribute. But you know, the biggest thing, I feel like, I mean, it's so much processed food here, so much unhealthy food. On top of it being processed, like the portion sizes in America are like so much bigger compared to literally every other country in the world. So right, you combine like a sedentary lifestyle with like crazy unhealthy foods, and a lot of unhealthy foods at that. Like, it's probably a no-brainer as the reason why we're fat. I mean, but that's just what I'm guessing. I wonder what Joseph Everett, man, what type of research he did. So let's get right into it, man. See what bro talking about.
15 years ago, I moved from Texas to Japan. I quickly had this weird feeling that something was off about the people here. I couldn't quite put my finger on it at first, but the more I looked around, eventually I realized what it was. Nobody's fat. Since 1960, the obesity rate in America has skyrocketed from 12% to over 40%.
4 out of 10 people are obese, and that's 2017. So I mean, if we look at the trend, it's probably even higher, right? In 2025, 8 years later, that's nuts. That's bad. Like, that's crazy. It's in reality though, it's probably a little bit of a smaller percentage lower, because I mean, if I had to guess, they probably use like BMI instead of like measuring people's body fat. Like, BMI is a outdated system, bro. Like, you can I mean, I'm pretty in shape, y'all. I'm 5'11", right, 190. You know what I'm saying? I'm only, I think, 15% body fat at this point. Like, I work out every day, man. My cardio is good. Like, I'm in great shape. But if I check my BMI, like, I'll be like overweight or obese, you know. So it's probably, I don't know what type of system they're using. Regardless, y'all, this is still nuts. I mean, obviously we know why this is the case, but man, we gotta do better, man. What's going on
Today, that means America's obesity rate is almost 10 times Japan's obesity rate of just 4.5%.
Wow, they only got a 4%.
The average American would be considered fat in Japan. You're like even American medium level fat, you are completely fat here.
I didn't realize it because I was fitting in like Australian people, but then when I came back to Japan, I noticed that I was fat.
It's way easier to lose weight in Japan than in the States.
But why? What's Japan's big secret?
Why Japanese people?
There's a million things it could be. Maybe it's green tea.
Or maybe it's lower smoking rates in Japan.
Actually, no. Smoking rates are higher in Japan. 25% of Japanese men smoke, but only 13% of Americans do.
That's it. So, and I don't smoke cigarettes at all. You know what I mean? I tried weed a couple times. I'm not a weed smoker, but so, like, cigarettes, does that like quell your appetite or whatever? I mean, if it does, like, I could see where, like, why that's a contributing factor. But I mean, let's hear him out a little bit more, right? By the way, y'all, if y'all mad about me pausing, this is a reaction channel. You have to pause. You know, this is my reaction. All right?
Maybe more people go to the gym here. Actually, no.
Only 3.3% of people have a gym membership here, while 21% of Americans do. Maybe it's because everyone eats fermented soybeans for breakfast.
Actually, it's way simpler than that. The whole food environment is just different in certain key ways.
In Japan, you actually cannot make excuse to gain weight.
Right.
But maybe in the States, maybe it's not the case because you're surrounded, by lots of, kind of trap.
When I came to Japan all those years ago, I basically just ate whatever looked good, and I was losing weight. So let's say you wake up, you get ready for the day, and you're off to get a good breakfast. What are your options? Well, per person, there are 15 times as many fast food establishments in America compared to Japan. So the average American's breakfast options might look like
hot cakes and sausage, our own egg McMuffin,
the breakfast burrito.
And when the last time y'all rocked out with the The McDonald's breakfast, man. I personally, man, I probably, maybe I should eat bread, but I don't, y'all. I usually just grab at most like an apple for the day to start the day off and be good like that. I know intermittent fasting is pretty good, like eating around the middle of the day, but yeah, man, I don't even remember. I mean, I know they got the breakfast menu. I just don't. I barely even remember seeing it. Some of this before my time though. So
For breakfast at Denny's, the Super Slam.
Single-handedly,
Super
the
Slam.
worst croissants I've ever put in my mouth. McGriddle.
Dude, sweet. What the
All of our favorite foods. So there's plenty of McDonald's you can go to here
yeah, y'all. When the last time y'all had a McDonald's breakfast, man? I had to be like a kid, bro. It's crazy.
in Japan, but Japan also has over 4,000 rice bowl establishments.
At places like Yoshinoya, for just $4, you can get what is actually a quite traditional Japanese breakfast. A small bowl of rice, fermented soybeans, roasted fish, and miso soup.
But let's say you don't have much time, and so you just want to grab something quick and go.
The answer? Convenience stores.
7-Eleven. Wow, this is so bustling.
Do I come to Japan just for the 7-Eleven?
More and more people are posting online about how in love they are with Japanese convenience stores, and for good reason. They actually have a huge selection of pretty decent food.
So here's what you can get for about $9 USD.
Fish simmered in miso, ramen-style eggs, a rice ball, roasted chicken, a salad, and a green tea. And they have many other things like a decent selection of roasted fish, fruits, salads, and even low-calorie stuff like these noodles made of tofu.
Wow.
The pre-prepared foods are also quite decent, like fish with mushrooms and radish, chicken gizzards with green onion, shrimp and squid with broccoli, boiled eggs, and steamed chicken with pickled veggies. The bentos are a little bit more junky, but they're much better than American options. So the first key difference is convenience. Convenience doesn't always mean junk. However, the average American convenience store doesn't have many options of reasonably healthy things to eat. You might be able to get some nuts or a protein bar.
Yeah, no, you pull up to a 7-Eleven, it's straight candy, chips, sodas, and I wouldn't even play with the them y'all be eating them my bad, y'all be eating them 7-Eleven chicken wings and pizzas and hot dogs that be on the little rotator all day. Y'all different if y'all eat that.
Other than that, it's just chips, candy, processed
Yeah,
food, and
exactly.
some fried stuff sitting under a heat lamp.
Exactly.
So yeah, of course, super health-conscious Japanese people don't get all their meals from a convenience store.
Only if I'm too busy and I have no time to cook.
The thing is that the overall standard for food in Japan is much higher in
Much
general,
higher,
so even the
right.
convenience stores have reasonably healthy choices. Japan has about 55,000 convenience stores, meaning Japan has almost 10 times as many convenience stores per square kilometer than America, which is great because from what I've seen, Japanese people, or at least Tokyo people, are extremely busy. Japanese people in general sleep way less than Americans, which is actually very unhealthy, yet they're still much thinner. So yeah, there are healthy restaurants and supermarkets in the US.
We believe in real food. Whole Foods Market.
But when it comes to cheap, quick, and convenient food, it's often very unhealthy.
$3 big meal deal, only at 7-Eleven.
In Japan, for lunch, I have the option to buy some fried junk or go to McDonald's for lunch, but it's often just as easy to, say, walk into Matsuya and get something like a bowl of rice with some stewed beef, a half-boiled
Word.
egg, some kimchi, and a bowl of miso soup, with plenty of pickled ginger, of course.
Even if you're getting some actual sweets here, they're just not as sweet as Americans.
If you go to any one of these cake places around here, an American would be like, wow, why is it not sweet enough? Whereas a Japanese person would go to America and go, why is it so sweet?
Diabetes.
When I first got to Japan, I thought most things weren't sweet enough. Now, after living in Japan for more than a decade, when I visit America, most things taste way too sweet.
A lot of things are sweeter, a lot sweeter than in Japan.
Yeah, and that's another thing, y'all. We be OD on sugars, man. Man, I was drinking I don't even know what, a Faygo, a Crush or whatever, and I just like looked at the little, y'all, it'd be like 40, 50 grams of sugar, you know, in like one little, not even, what is it, like 8 ounces of drink. It's sugar and everything, y'all. They putting sugar in the turkey meat. Man, I feel like the food industry, the food and drug, you know what I'm saying? It's all, man, it's all bad over here, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
For example, yogurt's very sweet to too sweet. Like it was like a dessert level.
According to 2021 statistics, the average Japanese person eats half the sugar of Americans.
Yeah.
Americans eat 33.7 kilograms of sugar per year, but Japanese people only eat 17.7 kilograms. The thing with sugar is that the reason people eat too much sugar is that they want a lot of sugar because they eat too much sugar. This 2016 study found that after just 2 months of people doing a low sugar diet, cutting their simple sugar intake by 40%, they started to rate sweet foods as significantly sweeter, as much as 40% sweeter than before.
That's exactly what happened to me. At first, Japanese sweets didn't taste sweet enough, then I got used to it, and now they taste plenty sweet.
So I think the Japanese just eat less sweet, less caloric things, and they eat less of it.
The soda cups are
Right.
just smaller here in Japan.
This is a large cup at McDonald's in Japan. This is an American small. The American small is actually slightly
That's nuts. Y'all, this is crazy, bro. This is crazy. And you know, we wonder why, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got diabetes. Everybody got high blood pressure, high cholesterol. You know what I'm saying? It's heart failure is like one of the or like heart disease is like one of the the top causes of death over here. And all we gotta do is like look at what we're eating, bro, and like change it. Now it they brought up, it's harder to afford healthy foods. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot easier to pull up to the McDonald's, right? Buy the Doritos because they cost. So y'all, man, it's a lot of change we gotta do over here, bro.
larger than the Japanese large. And of course,
That's
the American
crazy.
large is about twice as big as the Japanese large.
Even the milk is way smaller. This is the standard size of milk here.
Next, take a look at this. The selling point of this sweet drink is actually that it's small. It says nomikiri saizu, meaning a size you can finish. And these half-size drinks are in most of the vending machines.
Hey, why'd you get this small one?
I think this size is too much for me, so I can finish this.
But this one's only 10 yen more. You could have gotten like, this
Yeah.
one's like twice as big.
It's too much, and I don't want to waste it.
You don't want like a giant drink. You don't want to get like as much drink for your money.
No.
No one in Japan drinks a big gulp. You can't even get it anywhere.
Now that's what I call a large.
I couldn't find any big gulps in Tokyo, but I could find these tiny cans of soda.
Oh, I seen those. They had the Asmongold clip.
Drinks.
What, if you go to a restaurant in Japan, what percentage of the people would you say are drinking soda?
Oh, I think less than 10%.
Only water and tea?
So yeah, I think so.
Why they doing bro like this?
It's better.
So Japanese people just don't.
Why they do bro like that? I watched Asmongold a little bit, but I know he was trolling in that. Bro do live a pretty unhealthy lifestyle, but they did him wrong right there.
Drink that much soda. The average person here drinks 30 liters of soda a year, but the average American drinks 5 times that much.
Jesus.
154 liters per year.
So for example, with this vending machine, if you didn't want anything sweet, 5 different types of unsweetened tea, you can get water, and then there's black coffee.
By the way, these vending machines are everywhere. Japan has the most vending machines per person on the planet, around 4 million, or 1 for every 30 people. Next is key number 3.
And it's probably all right. I mean, they said it's right. It's waters in there, all sorts of healthy teas, fruit drinks with probably real fruit in it. So, yeah, man, wow, bro. It's a real eye-opening video right here, man.
30 people. Next is key number 3, school lunch. The Japanese
And they're smaller. School lunch. You know what? I'm gonna hear him out because I wanna speak on school lunch too.
approach to feeding their school kids is completely different from America.
Do the teachers even eat this stuff?
No, they don't eat school lunch.
They don't touch it.
So I'm half American. Well, I went to elementary school in both Japan and the United States. In the United States, the food was just junk food. We had tater tots, we had sloppy joes. It was just like everything bad for you. Chocolate milk.
In middle school, we would get chocolate milk.
Right.
Chocolate milk for
Yeah.
for what?
Just like, if you want chocolate milk, go ahead.
Served for lunch at a high school.
Students in Woodbridge, New Jersey say the food is inedible.
Some high school students who are so sick of their school food, they've started a protest movement against it. In 1970, the law changed. Schools could now turn to private, for-profit companies to feed their students.
In American schools, it's common to have plenty of processed foods on the menu.
You cut back on everything. Salaries, supplies, the food.
But if we go over and take a look at Japan, school lunches are planned out by the school's designated nutritionist. And they are made from scratch every single day.
Made from scratch, made with love too. And that's the thing. But I got my own, my own experience. So, I can't speak for everybody as far as like the school lunches, bro. But I just remember being in high school, literally none of me and my guys ate the school lunch, bro. Like it was always nasty. I would grab like my first 2 years of high school, they had like the school lunch and then they had like a little peanut butter and jelly, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the line or whatever that you could grab. So I just grabbed a PB&J every time. But, at some point, I guess like students were like allergic to peanuts. So they start serving sun butter and jelly sandwiches, bro. At that point, I just stopped eating lunch altogether. So that's it's crazy how even but then again, I was gonna say it's crazy how even that commits to, what I'm saying, like why we so big over here, because at least in my experience, the kids don't even eat the lunch. But at the same time, you got to think, man, it's some kids, man, like food insecurity is like real big over here too. Like it's people in poverty, like that's the only lunch, that's the only meal they probably eating throughout the day, and it's calorie packed, and not really nutritious as well. So you know what I'm saying, you eating a whole bunch of junk in the middle of the day, right? That's gonna, that's gonna mess you up as well too. So man, wow, bro.
If you're in Japan, every meal is meant to be healthy. Vegetables, there'd be rice, some fish, some meats, and a little bit of pickled vegetables. So that by the time, that you're 16, 17, 18,
oh yeah, they good.
It's
right.
very rare that you're gonna see a child that's fat in Japan. I think that carries you your whole life. It sets your diet.
You got like a nutrition education that actually worked.
Yeah.
The fourth key is portion sizes.
That's another thing, and I know I'm pausing a lot, but I really like this topic. You talk about nutrition education, bro. We're not really educated on nutrition over here. At least, like I said, I can't speak for everybody, but at least in my experience, bro, when we weren't learning about amino acids and iron and calcium, you know what I'm saying, and how people get type 2 diabetes. Like, you're not learning any of that in school either. So even if you wanted to eat healthier, right, you still end up probably making the wrong food choices because you don't even understand, right? Like what are you supposed to be eating versus like what are you not, like it, man. Wow, bro.
Really worked.
Yeah.
The fourth key is portion sizes. The portion sizes are generally just a little smaller wherever you go.
Normal size, like meal size in Australia, is usually big. I couldn't finish eating them, but then I got used to it, and I actually gained 12 kg there.
So that's like 25 pounds.
Double tacos, designed to keep your stomach and your wallet full. I'm full! America's biggest breakfast for only $9.99.
I think there's two big reasons why Japan doesn't take the American approach of giving you huge portions to make you feel like you got your money's worth. First off, don't do this in Japan. A big concept here is mottainai, or wasteful.
Elementary school, middle school, if you cannot finish the meal, you don't have like lunch break.
So you just have to sit there.
Yeah. Yeah, like I remember some of my friends couldn't finish eating and then like crying and eating. The idea came from like mottainai. You cannot waste the food because that's the life of plants and animals.
Yeah, no, I learned. Hold on, y'all. Let me change this battery. All right, y'all, we back. But yeah, no, I was gonna say, man, I learned as a kid, man, don't waste your food. I remember, man, my dad used to have me at the at the dinner table all night, bro, until I finished. Cause man, my dad used to make some nasty food as a kid, but I used to, man, them black eyed peas used to get me stuck at the table, man. So that's funny that they got that type of culture over there in Japan too, bro.
Yeah, leaving food is considered bad.
Right.
It's kind of bad manners to leave unfinished food and especially rice scattered about on your plate. Next, it's not really a thing here to get a container to take leftovers home. You're expected to finish your meal at the restaurant. So the average restaurant serves people reasonably sized, not too big portions that most people should be able to finish in one sitting.
Most packages of snacks here are sized so that you can comfortably finish them without feeling stuffed.
Like, look how small all these little packages of chocolates are.
If you eat the normal American diet, you'll get fat. In Japan, if you just eat what everyone else eats, then you get thin.
Yeah.
Do you think that's pretty accurate?
Yeah, I think it's accurate.
If there are some people who are, you know, maybe starting to get a little bit overweight, and I suspect they're eating too much junk food.
So the fifth point is variety. It's easy to eat and drink healthy when you have plenty of options and when you're not getting bored eating the same handful of healthy meals over and over again. People can eat big portions of junk if they want, but it's usually just as easy to get a variety of reasonably priced, relatively healthy food.
What I like about drinking culture in Japan is that even if you keep drinking at the izakaya or pub, you see so many menu, the healthy food on the menu. If you go to America, fried chicken, fried potato, like French fries.
Most of the places to go to drink have decent food options. You can expect to get some really solid food that's actually quite healthy at a classic Japanese pub, an izakaya. There are about 7,500 izakayas in Japan, more than the total number of fast food burger chains like McDonald's or Burger King. Now, I'm not necessarily saying you should replace fast food with alcohol, but even if you're walking in somewhere planning to get drunk, there's all kinds of simple, healthy, and delicious dishes.
You know what? And that's very interesting. And I wonder, and I mean, obviously we got a couple more minutes left, but I wonder, like, cause I know drinking is big in Japan. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least the research I did, you go out after work. You know what I'm saying? We go into the bar or whatever, and we gon', you know what I mean? We gonna drink. And I know that alcohol is like high calorie, like it's like to drink alcohol is a lot of calories in those drinks. So, you know, I wonder, like, you know, what's the rate of people like going out over there versus going you know what I'm saying, going out to the bar over here, and you know, like how that might contribute to it as well. But let's continue, man. I talked a lot, y'all. So let's finish this thing up.
There's one other quick point I want to touch on, but first let me make it clear that there are better quality food options than convenience stores, rice bowl chains, or izakayas, of course. Most Japanese people wouldn't even think of these places as healthy, but this isn't about optimal health. It's about how you can be reasonably healthy with not that much effort.
Did you make this with vegetable oil?
Oh, yes.
Thanks, but I gotta watch what I eat.
Lately, the word has been getting out about how bad vegetable oils or seed oils are for health. It's kind of impressive how clever marketing got us to think that we need to crush and heavily refine thousands of seeds with a long industrial process to get the oil that we need to cook with to be healthy.
With high pressure, forcing out the oil to a second extraction. 70-minute wash with a solvent. They wash the oil with sodium hydroxide. They bleach it, then use a steam injection heating process to remove the canola odor.
Sure, you can buy vegetable oil in Japan and people do cook with it, but it's very interesting to note that Japanese people consume about 1/2 of the seed oils of Americans. The ironic thing about seed oils is that they become more unhealthy when you cook with them, especially if you fry with them. That's because the fats are very fragile and easily break down when heated, which is not the case for saturated fats like, say, beef tallow, which are very resilient to heat. This brings us to the sponsor of this video, the seed oil-free
Shout out to the sponsor, man. I love tortilla chips, man.
And I don't have the urge to binge them, and I don't feel sluggish or bloated at com/Joseph WIL and enter code Joseph.
Shout out to the sponsor, man. But yeah, y'all, this is a very interesting video right here, man. Eat better, you know, move more, eat less calories, move more, eat better. That's what I'm taking away from this. But yeah, y'all, I really enjoyed this, man. Go check out the original channel. As always, y'all be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, man. We on the road to 1,000 subs over here, so y'all, let's get it, man. 2 cents. TCZ say it slow. We out.